Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. Coming up later on the show, we'll speak with wrestler Alex Pollera and women's swimming captain Haylee Rademann. But joining me now in the studio is men's basketball coach Adam Hutchinson. Adam, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
Generals have started off 1-4. You had a loss to defending ODAC champion Lynchburg in your first conference game over the weekend. What is the team looking to improve upon as the season goes along?
We need to improve defensively, and we need to improve with possessions. I believe our opponents have taken maybe 40, 45 more shots than us at this point in the year. So our turnovers are too high. We're giving up too many offensive rebounds, etc. So if we can tighten it up defensively, if we can take better care of the ball, we can tilt numbers in our favor.
You have a pair of returning all ODAC performers in Clayton Murtha and Andy Kleinlein. How can you build around those two players?
That's a good question. You know, a lot of times all ODAC nominations are based on numbers. And so, you know, losing Darren Douglas, the numbers don't say much, but his absence is large. I would say the same with Franz because they were such good defenders. You know, in order to effectively build around Andy and Clayton, they have to be better defensively. You know, they have to be able to guard their position, guard situations that we're going to see a lot. They're working at it. You know, they're making improvements, but you know, it's not. You know, making all ODAC doesn't actually make you a foundation piece, but being able to be counted on to do what you need to be done is really what's required to build around a player.
After finals, WNL will play in a couple of tournaments, Daytona Beach right before Christmas and your annual home invitational right after. What will those games do to prepare you for the ODAC games in 2017?
I mean, you know, you're going to be playing some good competition from out of the region, so you get some different kind of looks. I think it'll, you know, obviously give us another shot at, you know, tightening some things up, you know, that we've been struggling with thus far. So the plus of it is it's going to be high-level competition. It's not as if we went out and cherry-picked, you know, 2 wins at either event. And so hopefully that gets us ready for the second half. What
are your expectations for the conference this season?
I mean, you know, the ODAC's going to be tough. You know, there's not an easy night in it. There's no easy feel good where you can get your confidence. You know, you're just going to have to beat some really good teams in order to get yourself going. So I expect a stern test.
Adam, thanks for joining us. Best of luck throughout the year.
Thank you, Jeremy.
I'm joined now by Haylee Rademann, senior swimming captain from Folsom, California. Haylee, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's been a good November for the Generals. You beat Carnegie Mellon in Grove City and Pittsburgh. You finished second at the Franklin and Marshall Invitational behind only a Division I program in Delaware. How did those 2 events go for the team?
Yeah, it's been a great month for us. So we started out, like you said, at Carnegie Mellon, and that's a meet that we have not yet won in program history. But going into it, we knew we had a shot this year, so we were all very excited and really ready to get up and race, and we did just that. The meet was close the whole time, so it was really exciting, and finding out we won was a really big milestone for us. And like you said, a week later, we were at Franklin and Marshall, and we're second of 12 teams to Division I Delaware. And that was really big for us because we were able to give Delaware kind of a run for their money in some events. So it was pretty cool. And aside from that, we just had a lot of season best times, personal best times, school records falling and ODAC records falling. Everyone was up on their feet and cheering, and that meet's always a really good one for us, but I think we even surpassed our own expectations.
WNL has emerged on the national scene in the past few years. Last year, you sent 5 swimmers to the Division III championship. How far has the program come during your time on campus?
The program's improved immensely during my time on campus. Obviously, when I came here, the team was great, and we won the ODAC championship my freshman year. But we've improved so much. At that time, we weren't sending anybody to the NCAA meet. But last year, for us to send 5 people, an individual and a relay, was just great. And I know we're really excited in the coming years to send more and more people.
You won the 400 IM at last year's ODAC championship to earn first-team all-conference honors. What kind of personal goals have you set for your senior season?
Yeah, I was really proud of myself last year and my accomplishments. This year, I was really excited to come back and get into my training. I have my eye on some NCAA B cuts, which my best times are pretty close to. And so I think just hopefully some personal bests and a good showing at ODACs.
This weekend you go to Randolph-Macon. It's your last event until January. What are the keys to staying sharp during finals and the holidays and then mid-season training?
Yeah, we're all really excited for this weekend, especially after our performance at the Franklin and Marshall meet. I know we're just excited to get up and race and keep things fine-tuned. Going into finals, it's a lot of just staying healthy, staying on top of our work so that our training can really stay sharp, and then coming home, training over the holidays so that we can come back right where we left off.
Haylee, thanks for joining us. Good luck through the rest of the season.
Thank you.
With me in the studio is Alex Pollera, junior wrestler from Warren, New Jersey. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
The Generals have faced Ferrum and Davidson in dual meets. You also had a 6th place finish up at Washington Jefferson in an invitational there. How has the first month of the regular season gone for WNL?
Doing pretty well. Energy in the wrestling room and the attitude has been great, better than I've seen in years past. And I'd say that this is the best team I've seen at WNL during my time here, and probably the best team in recent years. We have a lot of potential to send some guys to nationals at the end of the year and hopefully win a team conference title. Ferrum was a pretty solid D3 team. I think they ranked in the top 20, top 25, and we held our own with the first match of the season, so we weren't really operating on all cylinders there, but it was showed kind of what we're capable of. And then Davidson, which is a D1 team, I don't think they would have even considered wrestling us last year, but with the roster we have this year, we showed up, and all of our losses were within 5 points, so it was a close match, and it would have been pretty cool to get a D1 win, but hopefully next year.
You had a solid sophomore season. You placed 3rd at the Centennial Conference meet and then 6th at the East Regional. How can you build off of that success?
Yeah, so I didn't really accomplish everything I wanted to do last year, so I'm kind of just keeping the ball rolling and trying to keep the momentum I had at the end of the season going forward. That really just comes from confidence, my preparation, and doing everything I need to do on and off the mat, and staying relaxed and not getting nervous, and kind of just trusting in my abilities, and hopefully I'll reach my full potential.
You mentioned the team's roster earlier. It's much bigger this season.
Yes.
How will that depth benefit the team?
Yeah, so it's been great. I mean, just from a training perspective, having options of other wrestlers to compete with in the room, and I've noticed, the attitude in the room has been really intense, where Coach Shearer hasn't really had to push us necessarily, because everyone's always pushing themselves, and it seems like the bar every day is being set higher and higher. A lot of guys in the room, including freshmen, have really high goals, and so because of that, everyone's constantly really pushing each other, and I think it'll really culminate with some conference titles, some top 3 finishes, some people at regionals placing, and I think we'll send a few guys to nationals this year.
The WNL duels are coming up right after fall term exams. You've got the Jim Kreitzer Invitational in early January. What can we expect from the 2 biggest home events of the year?
The duels are going to be exciting. We're attracting more and more teams every year, and better competition every year. So this year will be the biggest and best yet. So hopefully we'll get to wrestle some quality teams who we wouldn't see otherwise from across the country. And as far as the invitation or the individual tournament goes, I think throughout the starting lineup we'll have top 3 finishers across the board, and I wouldn't be surprised if at every weight we had guys placing.
Alex, thanks for joining us. Best of luck throughout the year.
Thanks.
It's time now for a look at the upcoming weekend. Men's and women's swimming travel to Ashland for the Randolph-Macon Invitational, which starts on Friday. Wrestling will compete at Ohio Northern, and the track and field teams open up the indoor season at Roanoke's Bast-Kreger Invitational. Back in Lexington, there's a basketball doubleheader at the Water Center as the women take on Messiah, followed by the men's matchup against Methodist. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.